My name is Marianne Nagel, and I'm a family owner of Phillips Candy House. The business was started by my grandparents in 1925. Philip and Constantina Strazzula. They came from Italy. They settled in Boston, and then they moved to Revere. And while they were in Revere, my grandfather was making chocolates for another party, wholesale. And my grandmother said to him one day, "We can bake these ourselves." So they started to produce the chocolate themselves. So they started in a basement, and they would make candy and they would sell it wholesale. Then my father and my two uncles opened Dorchester here in 1952. And so we've been functioning and working here ever since then. I planned another career in college, did that for a while, got married, had my children, and so it was very natural to walk right back into this position. And this was probably in the 60s. Well, we come from an Italian background, and it was instilled in all of us growing up that the work ethic was very important to us, that it was obviously made all the time the same way to be shared and enjoyed by many people. So my grandparents were very scrupulous about the production, the handling, the relationship with customers. So this is a kind of a background that we all had. I have cousins that were involved in the business growing up as well. Many went on to do other things, and I stayed with my grandparents and my mother for a long time, just during holidays in the summer. I don't actually make anything. I let that be the candy makers, which was my grandfather, and then my father, my uncles, and then we have a couple of very experienced candy makers now. I've appreciated the product all my life because I've listened to my grandparents criticize and critique each kind of piece and each kind of chocolate. We have tested chocolates through the years over and over and over again. We're always checking. Even to this day, we check a piece that we make. And my favorite is called a Figaro. And it's dark chocolate with a hazelnut paste, which is like filbert paste, a hazelnut nut. So it has that flavor. It's a very smooth piece. It's made in layers, and it's a very comforting piece to eat. This is a family business, the Phillips Candy House being part of it. We also have 2 hotels, a bowling center, a restaurant, and then another bowling center in Hanover, where I have always just been involved in the candy house because I think I work so closely with my grandparents and then my mother, that it was natural for me to just stay, to be here. This time of the year, this is the busiest time of the year. This is the fourth quarter, well known in retail as the make it or break it period of the year. This is the time of the year that everything has to get done. So we're geared up. We've been manufacturing, we've been packaging, we've ordered boxes, we've packed them, we're now taking our orders and putting them together. Not only in different times of the year, but our business has changed dramatically when I think about it. I mean, my parents didn't have the internet, really. So now we're definitely directed to internet business more than we ever have been. We still have customers. Our retail is still 80% at least of our business is still retail, but our internet creeps up, and it could be as much as 18% when we're really busy. But it's still the retail where it's at. So that's the majority of the business. And as far as the busiest time of the year would be this fourth quarter, which is at least 50%. I mean, when you eat a piece of chocolate today, it's the same as you ate it 25 years ago, and people know that. So we get families that come. We hear it all the time. My aunt came here, my grandparents came here, so we're constantly seeing the families continuing to perpetuate it. And I think people are driven by the fact that a small shop that continues to offer what you're comfortable and to be of value in all sense of the word, I think that's what continues to draw you to a shop. I'm spending 12-hour days here right now. Well, actually 14-hour days here right now. But this is the time of the year. I can't say, oh, well, I won't do it today, I'll do it next month. Well, next month it's too late. So in retail, you have to work when it's required, because that's what you're here for. So if you decide, well, I'm going to take a day off in the middle of a busy time, well, you're going to lose. It's not going to make any sense. So that's what you learn to appreciate. Well, I would hope to see it continue the way it has. I mean, I would always want to see, because I hear customers day in and day out. I would never want to hear a customer, unhappy or say, what's happened? This is not the same. It's not being run the same. Because I think it would definitely affect, the business, because I think 90% of the selling of our product is the tradition that's gone along with it.